6 o'clock, I'll call the November 12th meeting of the Plan Commission to order. Roll call.
Mike is absent. Chuck Kuzmarski.
Here.
Gary Ziegler.
Here.
Debbie Ballgard. Here. Jared Wells.
Here.
Mary Edmonds.
Here. Okay, public participation. I was told I don't need to read that, so does anybody have any comment?
Anyone signed up at this moment?
Okay, all right, I do ask if you want to say something, unless you're one of the presenters, raise your hand and be recognized before you start talking. Consent agenda, 2 items on the consent agenda are the minutes from the October meeting and the resolution for the CUP for the dam bar. And a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Hey, Debbie, in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right. First item of business, and it is a lengthy agenda. We'll try to move through as quickly as possible.
Here,
Yeah,
I already have a first question.
yeah.
Can you tell me what the CUP is?
Conditional use permit. We discussed it at the last meeting. Remember, it got delayed a month because of the issues in the building, and so
He's gonna get whatever.
so he'll be able to have his beer. Yeah.
Okay.
So. All right, first item of business, discuss and consider the Lakota Group and comprehensive plan RFP response.
Thank you very much. I'm Andy Cross and I'm a planner with Lakota Group. I'm very excited to be here to talk to you all about updating Belleville's comprehensive plan. I see it's a long agenda, so I will keep my comments short. But I do appreciate the opportunity kind of just to walk you through a bit of the proposal and how we envision it as a firm. We don't have the presentation up here, so let's just sort of flip through it together. And again, I'll kind of keep my comments pointed and short. And of course, if you have any questions, we'll have time for interrupt, save time at the end. I was a city planner for 20 years, first in my home state of Minnesota, and then in the Chicago area. And I live in Kenosha down there south of Milwaukee, not too far from the lake. And so I was been doing that. And about 5 years ago, I joined the consulting firm and have been leading the team there, working on comprehensive plans like this in a number of Wisconsin communities. And it's been a lot of fun. Burlington, where Nestle chocolate is, on Alaska, over on the Mississippi, on the west side of the state. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'm really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you guys about working here with you all to update Belleville's comprehensive plan. The plan is comprehensive. Are you all familiar with the current plan that was adopted not too long ago? Okay. So, it covers a lot. So we're working with Kapoor Engineering. Darren's just up in Madison, knows the area very well, and we're really looking at him on our team. The next slide there about key goals, I'll let you read through those on your own. They really reflect how we, the Lakota Group, and me and my team and I approach Belleville's issues and how we foresee tackling them. And some of the key goals of the broader project. Knowing that there are some elements of the current comprehensive plan that are going to be okay. We're not doing a soup to nuts rewrite. I think we can pull some elements out of that. So this will be working closely with staff and with the community to talk about, hey, what's working and what's not. So skip to then, or turn the page to the key focus areas. Because these are what we see now coming out of the gate based on research and wonderful conversations with Gabe and Ian about some of the initial focus areas of the plan. There's a lot of demand for growth around here, and it's taking place in the neighboring communities, in the neighboring townships. So we really want to build bridges with them about how can we work cooperatively together to manage growth, to plan it so it's not happening helter-skelter. So we can really do it in a way that that benefits the townships, but also builds and contributes towards the Belleville community. And then gateway improvements coming down from north, coming south on 69. There's a tremendous opportunity to really give Belleville a presence there, a stronger presence there. And I think that's important for community building, community identity, and it's also an economic development driver and tool from that perspective. So that's something we're so good at my team. I can't draw anything. but we have the most amazing design team at the Lakota Group. We have a lot of landscape architects and urban designers, and this is what they specialize in. So we can do some special placemaking there, but also the Western Business Park. That's a huge asset to the community, and we can kind of help map out a future for that in more detail. And a hallmark, and something that I'll kind of whirl through on these next few slides. A hallmark and a strength of the Lakota Group is public engagement and listening and engaging. And as we'll talk about in a couple slides here, this isn't a comprehensive plan that you hire a firm to write and they just come back in 8 months and say, here it is. It's just the opposite. It's a community-driven document. So how do you get that input from the community? We have a lot of tools that we take pride in, and that's really one of the more fun parts of the project. So our public engagement framework has three, let me go back to this slide then with the SMART on it, S-M-A-R-T. As an experienced city planner, I've had many and very expensive comprehensive plans that you just can't implement. They're just kind of these milquetoast documents that sort of push you in the right direction. But it's really my goal as a planner to provide communities and the planning staff here with actionable strategies that make sense. It's, a strategy isn't consider improvements to your downtown. That's not base. So a key outcome of this plan will be really clear implementation strategies. And so we get there through public engagement, where we have a number of tools that we use to inform the public about this project. And we'll certainly work to work with staff and the steering committee, the commission, to see which are going to work best, which are going to resonate with the residents of Belleville. And then we listen. We hold focus group conversations and open houses to really listen, and then we engage with people. Pop-up events at farmers markets are a common example, but there's 100 other ways. Some of the best conversations we have are with high school students to get some interesting perspectives there, but just to really get a widespread array of input from the community. It really helps people to know, to associate a project like this with a brand, like to just get some sort of recognition. We do this regularly here on the Board of Trustees, on the Plan Commission, once a month, twice a month. We're here working through these issues. Most people just are busy with their own lives. What's a comprehensive plan? Well, okay, let me ask you this question. Oh, yeah, I've always wanted this for the town, for the village. So it's meeting people where they are and presenting the plan in a way that makes sense to them. And a brand can really help people kind of click and be like, oh, yes, I saw something about that on the village's Facebook page or something like that. So again, a very community-led process, and that's something we'll work out with a public participation plan, work closely with staff and steering committee to try and develop that. What does that look like? What's going to work? Because some of the tools we use in other communities just aren't going to resonate here. That's fine. We have a wonderfully deep toolbox of what to do. The comprehensive plan process is in 3 phases. The first phase is called engage and assess. And what that is wrapping our heads around the existing conditions. To map a path forward, we all have to agree on where we're at now. Where are we starting from? What are the key issues we need to work on? And this is a document, this existing conditions report is approved by the steering committee, by the commission. Okay, now we're out of the gates. That's phase 1. Phase 2 is where we start the real fun planning work. Okay, how can we address these issues? How can we address residential growth, commercial and economic development in a way that's consistent with Belleville's local character? And we start developing these tools, goals, strategies, and then we work them out throughout phase 1. And that too is public participation. Hey, what do you think? And we call it testing the waters with our toolbox of strategies that we'll work to develop. And then phase 3, the final stage, when we have all these goals and strategies developed, we will then write it. And that too has some public engagement along the way. So let's turn the page past that. This is something I want to touch on, that our documents read a lot more like a magazine than a boring comprehensive plan. These are documents that should be approachable by everybody in the community, not just for people who are familiar with planning concepts. So that's important to us. And we make colorful, really graphic rich documents that break concepts down into understandable graphics and images. So there are a couple of fun examples here that we pulled on the previous projects we've done. And they take these Growth strategies. Well, what's a growth strategy? I don't know. Well, here's what it is. Here's what it means to Belleville. Here are the options we looked at. Here's your community. Here's what we're going with. So you can break these down in ways that really resonate and make sense for people who just don't do this all the time. So the second to last slide there is titled "What's Next for Belleville." Really, it's deciding what does growth look like. If you ask 4 people, what do you want in the park? What makes a downtown special? Or what's the housing? What do we need for housing? You're going to get 5 different answers, different answers from everybody. So figuring out what that looks like for the community is essential, and then developing the tools to get there. Where in the community should development be prioritized? Is it in the business park? It's how do we support the existing downtown initiatives through some long-term planning, long-term visioning. There's been a tremendous amount of work there that I'm looking forward to building off of. The key corridors, certainly Main Street and 69 coming down, that gateway there is awesome. And so it's really what's the best way to support the downtown efforts and other things like that. Well, there's more than one way. And so it's, we as plan professionals can offer a menu of tactics that work, strategies that have been successful in communities at this scale, and then work as a group here and work with the public to figure out which ones are practical. Ian does a lot. He can't handle a whole lot of a laundry list of, okay, this month it's this month it's that. What's really feasible for the department and the staff levels here. So that's a crash course in how Lakota can help the village update the comprehensive plan. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions. And of course, David, Ian have my contact info. And we can keep in touch if there's any follow-up questions after the meeting. I understand you guys have a lot to go through. Any questions out of the gates?
Didn't we just update our comprehensive plan?
We did in 221, when looking through it, 80% does not relate. There's a part that says a transportation utility. I think people look. And so I don't, that's where Andy mentioned, I don't think we should go through absolutely everything, but we very much do need to go through it and comb through it. The area that we need to focus a lot on is the maps. We are starting with the developments to get outside of our, what is already currently designed. And so what does our future land use map look like? If we don't have something put in there and then a farmer wants to put in a shed and we don't have anything planned for that area, we really don't have a reason to deny it. And so we need to at least know what we want to do in our extra jurisdictional area. So that's a major thing. And then also what is subdivision? We say we want low density, medium density, high density in subdivision, but what does that actually mean? Is there a certain percentage of that we want in there? Is there so having those conversations is really what this process.
Because some of that process, it was similar. There was in the community, they were asking questions. If that changes in 4 years,
Yeah.
I know you're not doing this for free either. Obviously, there's cost to this. So it's trying to be judicious with money while trying to create something that's workable, I guess.
And this is in the budget for next year, all right?
Yep, we have some money in the budget for this year. If we need to make it a capital item, we can. And then we have some in the TID, some in the general fund. And then will last more than a year, so we can also budget for next year as well. When I say next year, in 27.
Yeah, a lot of this is going to be weeding out what needs to be updated, what doesn't. And as people think multifamily housing, a lot of people immediately think 7-story buildings like in Madison. It's no, that's probably not going to resonate here. So what does attainable housing look like? What does workforce housing look like here? It's, developing that, and those, you're right. What's going to change in 4 years? Something might.
Yeah. It's just how do we keep, if we are changing that quick in 4 years, how do we keep it updated with that vision and in place for the future without changing everything again?
And you have a question?
And we already pay somebody to do this?
4 years ago.
So every 4 years, we're gonna dish out a lot of money to do this?
No, it was just explained. We did in 21, but we've grown so much since then that the current plan is out of date.
Well,
So
we're gonna have 1,100 new houses, so we're gonna be,
Well, I think when we did the 21 plan, we didn't think we were gonna have 1,100 new houses, so.
You know, and even if the housing slows down or whatever happens, the maps still don't show what the future looks like. We don't, that's what needs to happen. Like, even if it takes 20 years for the housing market to fill up all of our extra jurisdictional area, we at least know what we want to have there down the road. We don't have a lot of those questions answered. We don't know what single, medium, and high density have those conversations. We have them, but we haven't implemented them. A straightforward way. We have conversations on, duplexes versus single family. We've had that in the last couple of meetings. Figuring out where's the appropriate places for those. When is a yes place, when's a no place, that kind of stuff. As you've noticed, we've had to do a lot of comprehensive plan updates, amendments. And it allows staff to come, if a developer comes in and says, I want to put homes here, it's like, sorry, this is commercial. Right now, I don't know what the board's gonna approve because we don't have anything planned out.
I do agree. I think there could be some benefit in that. It could answer some of our questions.
And it is a very targeted update.
Yeah.
And
Versus, yeah, overhaul, maybe, yeah.
yeah, as these projects go, as these projects budgets go, this is not a huge hit from that perspective. Okay. Thank you all very much.
So are
Thank
you
you.
looking for a motion recommended?
Recommend to the board, you don't have the final approval, we would just go to the board.
Any other questions? Somebody want to make a motion or
What are we recommending though?
the proposal that we go with the Lakota group? So,
Did we look at any other group?
yeah.
We looked MSA interviewed, they are actually the ones who wrote the last plan. We liked their concepts, but they held strong to some of the wording in there. That really bothered staff. Kind of stuck to their guns and said this actually works really well, and like it doesn't. And so it clearly showed that there was just not that connectivity, which was disappointing.
So to your question, yeah, they did go out, it was an RFP and so they,
Yeah, because I'm new to this whole thing.
yeah, they looked at,
That's
yeah,
why I'm
the
asking.
couple, so.
Yeah, we submitted a proposal and everything. Was there a motion on the table?
Yeah.
So if we don't make a motion, then what happens? Just gonna die and go away
I
or
will
what we
make a
do?
motion to put to the board the recommendation of the Lakota group for review of the comprehensive plan.
I'll second it. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, thank you. Have a fun trip back to Kenosha, because I need to get there from here, so. All right, next item. First of our public hearing, conditional use permit application for Secor at 1,000 James Avenue. Are you here to talk about that or? Okay.
So this is pretty cut dry. They're getting a little bit busy indoors to house an area for their excess sheet metal scrap. So they're just putting kind of a big receptacle out back, but outdoor storage and so. Like otherwise, the property's in immaculate condition. They've met the requirement for a fence abutting the residential neighborhood behind. That is completely up there. The spaces. Yeah.
Okay. So on that note, I will call the public hearing to order at 6:19.
Yep, so I'll read this real quick. The
Okay.
public hearing was published as a notice in the Public Recorder on October 23rd and 30th. I have included the affidavit of publications part of your agenda packet. It was posted at Village Hall, Village Center, Belleville Public Library, and on the website on Friday, the 7th.
Any public comment?
No one signed up for this time.
Okay. You don't need to ask 3 times.
Yeah.
Are there any other comments? Any other comments? Any other comments? All right, hearing none. I'll close the hearing at 6:20. All right, so discuss and consider a conditional use permit authorizing accessory structure at the property located at 1,000 James Avenue, and that's that. So,
And Ian has already written the resolution for that. You can see it on attached.
I basically just put their old conditional use permit in new format and added the language about the and recommended screening.
I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use permit requested for accessory structure at property at 1,000 James Avenue.
Second.
okay, that's Larry. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Right.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, next item. Rezoning application for 500 Blazer Drive and 509 Blazer Drive and 376 Sugar Avenue. You here to talk about that presentation? You're Ian, here.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, if you want to. Yeah, so this is just.
I'm just gonna regurgitate one.
Okay.
It's currently built. Here exactly was built since in 2007. So it's currently a duplex. I'm just looking to be able to split the duplex into two saleable. Is the technical.
Zero lot line,
So
just creating it two taxable parcels.
Yes.
That's existing structure. Literally the only thing doing here is putting in the imaginary line so you can sell them separately.
Again, this is going to be a public hearing. Any questions from the board or from the commission?
Question, what's the reason of changing the addresses?
So to be specific, these addresses are not, are just, we'll say the addresses
Yeah.
will stay the same. They are already addressed that way.
Oh, okay.
We're just changing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's kind of strange because one driveway comes out of the plaza and one driveway comes in.
Sure. Okay, all right. With that, I will call the public hearing to order at 6:23.
Public hearing notice thing, it's the same, so just pretend like I already said it. Thank you.
Any public, give any comments or questions?
I don't have anyone signed up for this one.
Okay. Okay, any other comments? Any other comments? Any other comments? Okay. I will close the public hearing at 6:24. So the next item on the agenda is discuss and consider approval of rezoning application for 409 Blazer Drive and 376 Sugar Avenue to be changed from RT2 family residential to RZ0 lot line residential.
And as I put in my memo, this is consistent with the comprehensive plan. It's already existing structure, literally nothing changing with the property itself. This is the first step in a two-step process. The first step is the rezone for the 0 lot line from 2 family. The second step is the certified surface map, which is the next.
Does this split with the 0 lot line and 2 sellable properties increase the tax base, the property values? Is there anything associated with that?
I mean, that's
Potentially.
That's your question. I don't think so. I mean, it's still based on the use of the property and the square footage is just square footage.
Is the value greater as 1 or 2? That was my question. I mean, it could benefit us maybe potentially, but.
It's possible based on whatever the final sale price is, but I think initially it doesn't really make any difference.
It's, I would say it's minimal. I mean, you've got, one property, but you would have 2 instead of 1, and then they, even though those 2 might equal the same amount, that's still 2 different tax bills. But
I mean, it's an existing structure already. We're just slightly reclassifying it.
Is there a requirement for both parties to be agreeable to certain things like replacing a roof, maybe siding?
Eventually, if he were to sell it, yes. They would need some sort of with a joint maintenance agreement or something like that. But since he's the sole owner of this property, even when it turns into two properties, he's sole owner, nothing needs to be done at this point.
Now, isn't there a recommendation too about that zero lot line wall being a firewall,
Not on a duplex,
not on a duplex?
no, has to be greater than 3 family units.
Really? Oh,
It's probably better than like reach your hand through, but
because I remember when we did this and we come up with zero lot line, that was one of the issues they talked about, was it had to be a fire break wall between the two sides.
there's nothing in the ordinance saying.
There was some talk, Larry, when they were doing it, that they were gonna put that in. Not sure if it was a requirement or not, but with some of the newer buildings, they were gonna
Okay, I don't
something
I
like
wasn't
that.
doing it, I wasn't doing this at that time. So I don't know.
Any other questions? Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion that we accept that as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries 5-0. All right, so the next item is the certified survey map for that property. So the item is discussed and consider the CSM application.
Yeah, this is the second step in that process. I say this is the document that we filed with the Union County Register of Deeds, is showing the dimensions of the two individual lots. It doesn't meet all the requirements in ours or something.
We need a motion to approve this, right?
I'll make a motion to approve the certified survey map. Should have had it in front of me, I lost the
509 Sugar.
509 Gloucester and 376 Sugar Avenue.
A second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Next item, certified survey map. Discuss and consider as certified survey map application for 221 and 227 Frederick Street.
This is the old Catholic Church building and rectory, those lots. They're simply in the process of selling the lot with the old Catholic Church on it and just separating off the rectory because they're going to handle it with that. That's all this is. As far as these, the requirements for this one.
Journeys, motions? I'll make the motion to approve the certified survey map for 221 and 227 Frederick Street. Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, motion carries. Okay, moving right along. All right, certified survey map, for Bellevue West lots 23 and 24.
lot 23 has already been purchased by Henry Legacy. Lot 24, we're waiting on, I don't know, something before there's a transfer from the village to Henry Legacy. But they plan on closing on that lot. This is to combine those lots into one so that they could use. Yes, so they can use both lots to build the structure. It's the next item, the site plan. So usually you don't need to go through plan commission approval for the combination of lots. If it's a sole owner. You know, we're only removing the one line in between, but they wanted to make sure we go through this process so we can have give some cleanup of the setback lines that were originally platted.
Comments or questions from the commission? Audience? Belleville, all right, so I'd entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to combine lots 23 and 24 on Wayne Drive.
A second. You did, okay. All right. Any other discussion?
Are you guys attaching any conditions to that or?
Did you add something in your,
So I said they just don't own one of them yet.
oh, so yeah, with the conditions, yeah, everybody okay with the conditions is outlined in, Ian's letter dated the 12th? See, add that to it? Okay, you don't need that as a moment if everybody's okay with that, so. All right. Any other discussions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. All right, here we go. Site plan application for lots 20, here, Belleville lots 23 and 24, the Belleville Club and Courts.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys wanted to come up and talk about it at all. My staff comments and Kevin's, I think we had some, we had a few comments, but I mean, all in all, everything came in and looked very good, so.
Hey, Greg, on this, Greg is young. Our responses to the comments from Kevin and Ian, since any of the paving in the easements, utility easement, and easements continuous around the entire lot. We'll have to cross it to connect to the sidewalk at some point, so we should get it up for this tear out replacement for any utility work in the future. And the other comment is related to the ADA ramp across James Avenue. You can leave that ramp opposite James Avenue, what's your responsibility of that? Opposite traffic, James Avenue from my parcel. Requested.
Yeah, I know Kevin jumps on. It's available online too, if you guys had questions about this review.
Kevin, you have any comments?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
None other than what obviously they mentioned. And like I said, the requirement with the handicap ramp that they had mentioned crossing James Avenue was talking with our traffic folks. That's pretty standard. Obviously, you're gonna have people walking from the north, kind of coming down. Most of them are not gonna probably go to the south side of Wayne Drive and cut across, so they'll just be crossing the street. So from a safety aspect, they would recommend having one put in on the north side, so it's kind of all directions. That's where that comment came from. Otherwise, I think they addressed pretty much everything in their responses, or didn't have any concerns with the comments that we had or anything. So that was it.
Questions from motion? Comments from the audience? My group in here. Yeah. Okay. So we need to approve the site plan application then, right? Is what we need to do? Looks like it's gonna be a nice facility, so.
Make a motion to approve the site plan.
I'll second it. All right, so there's a motion, a second, to approve the site plan application for Bell West lots 23 and 24, Belleville Club and Courts. Any other discussion? Right, hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries 5-0. All right. Site plan review for discuss the conceptual site plan for the there multifamily family site. Are we here to talk about that or?
There's no formal reviews, kind of the kick of the can, where they just prevent or give you guys get feedback before they go through the plan application. I'll say the site that they're looking at, I think they've already done ownership of, and it's already zoned.
Everyone, my name is Nicole Solheim. I'm with Sonair. We're a nonprofit housing developer. I am based in the Madison office. I live in the area. I grew up in McFarland. And I focus on housing development throughout the state of Wisconsin. So this site, as Ian mentioned, just south of St. Francis Church, identified in the comprehensive plan, future land use map for higher density residential and already zoned for RN multifamily. So we would not be, coming before you for any rezoning, would meet all of the requirements of that zoning district. But are looking to develop housing that would include some WIDA financing that would allow us to make it affordable to workforce as well as local seniors. And as part of that, that was a demand and a need that was identified. As this housing study was recently completed, here in the community. So we're really in the early stages of design and financing. If we were to move forward to get everything in place, we would start construction for a year and a half or so. But I really just wanted to start and get this, before you in advance and get any initial feedback on the concept. We're looking at about 50 units, 3 stories, a lot of open space. Hoping to do a connection to the Badger State Trail for residents if the DNR wants it. If you that you have the questions that you have for me, I'd be happy to answer.
Well, I'll let these deputy chief talk to the 3 stories, but so there's no garage, this is all open parking, right? No underground, no garages, no anything, correct?
But if you have service.
Is that an effort to save costs?
In general, yes. And there's, to be honest with you, plenty of it's there for surface parking. It does save money, yes.
And no basement in the building, correct?
We're not planning for a basement.
The emergency manager side, it's wonders why the building, a lot of buildings will have basements, but and considering the number of tornadoes that do go through this, around this area, it's kind of concerns me, but
Would each apartment be built with a safe room?
With the safe room within them, as in like the bathroom area would be designated.
Well, I mean, there are design features for structures that don't have below grade areas for tornado shelters that are greater than just studs and drywall for.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I'll look into that.
So I just personally, I get it, you have a lot of space there. But surface lots, I mean, that decreases the surface permeability for runoff, rain, things like that. It does have impact to the environment. You would lessen that impact with a basement and then also provide you with some shelter if we did have a tornadic event or something like that. So it's kind of, I mean, I understand the cost savings, but at the same time, I think that would be beneficial in two different.
But especially second and third, if it's a 3-story building. They're pretty, first floor, you'd be a little safer in a bathroom or an interior room, but I'm not so sure about the second and third floor, how safe you'd be up there. And no elevator in the building, correct?
No, we would have.
Oh, you would, okay.
There is.
A number of units that would be designed with accessible features as well and roll-in showers for some units.
This is a staff question to make note of. The church is a dead end water main. Are we gonna loop that into something else? Otherwise, you're gonna have a water issue in that building.
It's possible. So right across the street, that farmland is still for sale, so it's possible something going there. We're just looking at that. And then also possible that we could loop back around either under the back trail or go north through looking for the Catholic Church.
Anytime we touch that fire hydrant near the church, it sets their sprinkler alarm off because it reduces water pressure, and it doesn't set the sprinklers off, it sets the alarm off because it thinks there's a flow issue. So I just see that being the amount of water that's going to be consumed by a 50-unit building on a dead end line, maybe problematic picture.
Somewhat.
Potentially, I mean, but it could be issues for their building too, ensuring that they have adequate water. Plus then if there is some sort of water main break, things like that, it's not looped. That building is without water, period, until that is resolved. So that's something that big picture should probably be considered. I like the concept. I think it is a need in town. It needs a little tweaking.
Consider, I understand your comments about parking. It's very difficult in this cost environment to make that work, but it's something that we always look at.
Yeah, and I understand you maybe intentionally, unintentionally being south of the border in this county. Dane County is much more attentive to runoff, things like that than Greene County is. So that's.
It was actually very unintentional. I would have been more helpful if we were in Dane County actually for a number of funding sources, but I don't think those county lines are.
No.
Land was available, so.
Okay. No, I mean, yeah, it'll have an elevator, it'll have free sprinkler because of its height. I'm not, from a fire safety concern, we already have a 3-story structure in town.
Yeah.
I'm super concerned about that.
So with the sprinkler system, the water issue is even bigger, right? Because you're gonna want to be.
Potentially, right? So with not to go down a rabbit hole, but your fire sprinkler systems are always wet and there are pressure gauges in the riser. And when they start to fluctuate, even if a sprinkler head's not activated, if that water pressure coming up to that gauge drops for whatever reason, it sends an alarm to the alarm company because it thinks a sprinkler head has been activated.
Okay.
So that's just one of those nuances. I don't have the map. I don't know how big that main is going down there, but I know it dead ends at the church.
I don't know either. Kevin, are you still on? Do you have any idea?
I don't off the top of my head. I'd have to look at the maps as well.
So definitely you guys are gonna have to work with
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. We usually do preliminary testing as part of the design build process with our MEPs.
Any other comments or questions, thoughts?
Feel like I live basement. I'm not sure how much more that costs, but not only for that, but the storage too. You have families there, you have pipes, all kinds of different things, and where do you store all that, you know, especially on a second or third story.
I've got some stuff to read for the, are these gonna be a variety of 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms? Is that this?
Correct.
Okay.
Did you have a target range for rent?
For rents? Yeah, so the rents will vary depending on the income limit that is within that unit. So for an example, a 1 bedroom would start at about 500 and go up to about up to 600 to 1,500. And a 3, 700 to 1,500.
There are lights in the parking lot. I can't tell by these drawings if there's any lights in the parking lot.
There would be, they would comply with absolutely dark sky ordinances, I'm sure about for safety and. Yes, we don't have that initially in the.
Actually, this is kind of preliminary, so if it goes, moves forward and come back with, well, the plans, lighting plans, landscape plans, all that stuff would have to be reviewed at that point. So. Concerns? Dan, you guys got any?
At this point.
So where it says trash, way over here in the corner, so you have to take all their stuff over that part of the.
Yeah.
It seems kind of.
Yeah, so as it gets colder, you think about this thing and I so why. Yeah, that's what you said.
Here, I don't see any light poles. It's like,
Well, right, especially if part of our target population is older adults and seniors. And that again, you know, it's a sound like a broken record. Underground parking is slightly advantageous for that also, because then they're not out scraping their cars, things like that, walking the parking lots. It's reducing the opportunity for a slip and fall.
that's my fears. Somebody's gonna lay out there for hours.
They won't have. Yes.
We need more or no?
No, no, perfect. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, now, site plan review for Frederick Street Apartments.
Yep, and so, this is also ticket plan, so you've been, right? Let's go in notification of the church. Lots of stuff going on.
Sir, it's.
So that's, yeah, go for it.
Hey guys, I'm Jake with Kismet Construction and, my wife Maggie, I have solar farms in the company, live right down the road with all them. We're just small developers in the community. And, as you guys discussed earlier, the rezoning of this property here, we are looking to put up a 22 unit apartment building. Yeah, we won't have underground parking, but we will have a basement with storage, and possibly laundry as well. We have been floating the idea of awnings over the parking. But we're in the early stages. We have a lot to look into. So they are just looking for feedback on the design concept, site plan.
So this would require a rezone as well, because right now it's zoned as, I think, high density, single family high density. As are most of the lots directly downtown on the original blocks. But yeah, we need to be obviously rezoned multi-family.
So surface parking, 2-story building. No elevator then, right? Because it's 2-story?
That is correct, sir. No elevator.
Yes, I guess and did you say basement or not? I'm sorry.
Yes, basement with storage, possible on-site laundry as well.
Oh, yeah, I mean, my concern would be the outdoor parking again, but, you like the fact there'll be basements in there, so.
So I assume tear down the existing building, correct?
That is correct.
and part of it tucks in behind the rectory then.
Correct.
So you're gonna leave the rectory up because there's been rumors floating around town that you're gonna move, that it's gonna be moved or it's gonna get torn down? Yeah, the diocese was talking about moving the rectory onto their current property with the new church.
Okay.
But I don't know what.
There's been a conversation on that for probably 9 to 12 months.
I don't know how the diocese is gonna afford that, but whatever, okay. And again, these gonna be 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms or they're all?
1, 2, 3 bedrooms, yes. We have, currently we have it set up for 2 3-bedrooms, 14 2-bedrooms, and 6 1-bedrooms.
Are they scattered through both floors?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I think you got a copy of the floor plan there.
Yeah.
You say there's no elevator?
That is correct, no elevators. We're 2 stories.
It'd be like the one across from the church right now, so. West School.
What's the zoning there currently?
Currently, it's single family high density. So yeah, on top of the rezone, it would be a comprehensive plan amendment. So there are other multifamily units kitty corner to it.
Yeah.
So, it wouldn't be like a spot zoning situation.
I still see pushback from the neighborhood,
You don't say.
or I should say force the.
I can certainly open this suggestion that you,
I don't have an amazing.
just on
I just,
thanks for the heads up.
I mean, so here's where I come to that conclusion, just when I pull up a satellite image of the rest of the neighborhood surrounding it, right? I envision it sitting there. And I mean, the neighbors have, let's be honest, gotten really accustomed to that being a church that's not used. You know, it's quiet, it's tranquil, it's whatever, and I can hear the collective sigh right now when you tell them a 22-unit apartment building is dropped in their neighborhood. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just saying this is going to be a difficult conversation to have, right? And how do we balance the need for multifamily housing in the community and the desire to maintain, I'll say, pre-existing neighborhood as it is, because yeah, there are apartments kitty corner, but those are 2 8 units, I think.
Yeah.
Even that big.
Yeah, they're.
And they're on a large lot that tucks kind of. They have a lot of standoff space, green space, comparatively speaking. This conversation would be easier if the rectory wasn't going to still be there and you could like move this building on the lot, I think, because the other thing is when you look at how close it's going to sit to that house. Sorry, I can't reach back on 231 West School.
I would like to point out that map that you're looking at, well, as of tonight, isn't correct. That was before the actual, you guys, it added another 10 feet. So it's not as tight.
Yeah.
Now, the official rezoning of that property. I didn't get that until, we obviously didn't have that. So, first thing, so.
Yeah, your green space is gonna be very limited.
Are they going to be townhome style or first floor apartments, second floor apartments?
First floor and second floor. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I was thinking the same thing.
I'm not saying I'm against, I'm just having sat in, well, not this room, but the other room we used to sit in long enough now to know not exactly, but largely where this conversation is going to go in the coming months.
When I was standing out behind the church, just looking at the property, looking at the neighbors, I quickly realized that the backside of the apartment building is gonna look a heck of a lot better than the backside of that church does right now.
I haven't been back there because of traipsing between houses.
But that's fair. Well, that's just my opinion.
No, I know, and I don't, like I said, I know, I'm not saying against it, I'm just trying to be honest with you and transparent and tell you, these are the conversations that will be had as this moves forward, if it moves forward.
Okay.
So we're stepping
Maybe there's a question.
in, shares can acknowledge.
If I'm reading it right, there's the apartments in the front and the apartments on the back. So are you looking at like 10 apartments down below, 10 apartments?
It is
22.
11 up top, 11 below.
What's the average of each apartment? 1 and 2 and 3 per square foot.
I believe I have that. I think it was around 11 or 9. That would be average.
For a 2-bedroom?
I mean, yeah, for the 3-bedroom would be a little bit lower.
What do you think, George?
It's, like I said, this is the early stages. Our initial, we took the averages of this community. So our goal is to make it affordable. We want affordable living. That's Kismet Development, that's what we do. That's what we specialize in. All of our developments are all affordable housing. That's what we wanted to start our company on. And that's what we continue to do. So I don't have the prices dialed in yet. I'd honestly looking for more feedback on that. Looking for more data.
And you said you're out of Broadhead, right? Is that what you said?
No, township of Rutland.
Oh, township
Down
of
Rutland.
Okay.
Is this, I assume this picture in here of the exterior is just kind of a placeholder, is that the?
Correct, yeah.
Any other similar properties that you built for this?
I've been doing this my whole life.
Okay.
Yeah, we do, our main thing is duplexes. That's what we do quite a bit of. But yeah, I've certainly built, quite a few apartment buildings in my day.
Okay. Any other comments?
I'm just wondering. It somehow can be made to look small from the outside, it's still being.
Hey, that's why I'm here. I'm open to suggestions on how I can change that.
Because we'd
Maybe take the gables out, that might.
I don't know. Solution is.
I can certainly go through that. Jim, he's just out of Belleville, the architect I'm working with. I'm sorry, Evansville. Jim's out of Evansville. We can certainly go over different design concepts.
Ashley?
I would like to make one comment, like the idea of, on-site laundry. If you do, I think the first floor would be best. A lot of the older people can't do enough stairs to do if they're upstairs or downstairs to go up and down.
Yeah,
It might be an idea.
you're absolutely right. We are looking into actually some units having possibly in-unit laundry for that reason. Yeah. Water and you. I hear you.
All right. That's all I. We'll talk about.
Yeah. Any other comments? All right. Staff? Okay. Thank you.
What's that?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions? Look forward to seeing you again, so.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Item 15, floodplain ordinance public hearing. So I will call the public hearing, open the public hearing at 7 o'clock.
Public statements.
for public hearing notices, same as the last.
Okay.
It definitely was posted.
All right. So, are there any comments on this, on the floodplain ordinance?
No one signed up to speak at this time.
Okay. Are there any comments? Second time? And third time, are there any other comments? These are some of the shortest public hearings we've ever had, so, all right, then I will close the public hearing at 7:01. Which is to discuss, consider ordinance chapter 13.
This ordinance is almost entirely dictated by the GM.
We're just gonna say, I don't think we have a lot of room to.
No, not on this one, we don't.
Yeah. I mean, if there's something specific you really don't like, I can take a look at it, but like, I can't do anything about
Yeah, this was an easy rewrite for you, so.
it. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I read it. I didn't think it was too bad.
So do we, is this one, is this using the state's ordinance or the county, Dane County's ordinance? Do we, is it, or is that the other, so erosion control that we use the county one, so.
No, it's stormwater is the one we use, the Dane County.
Okay.
So, yeah, I got the draft ordinance from the DNR. But then, so it was. Oh, God, what was it?
And we haven't touched this ordinance in a long time.
So floodplain and shoreline are different than wetland.
Yeah.
And so wetland was more of a county by county. Floodplain and shoreline were DNR dictated.
These have been separate ordinances in the past for.
Yeah. So just combining them together. Into one chapter.
Yeah.
That no one will probably ever look at.
Right. So do you want a motion tonight or do we?
I have not done anything to chapter 15 or 16.
Okay.
And there's so many things on the agenda and everything, so I didn't have time to get to it.
Well,
That's just separate.
not right.
Okay. So, yeah, so tonight you can, if you want to, if you guys are comfortable with it. Like I said, if there's something specific you want me to take a look at or ask the DNR about, I can. But it's probably not gonna change anything.
Yes.
So I'm not smart enough.
You have to have a lot of expertise to understand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you guys wanted to go ahead and kick this one up, that's great. We can keep the other two.
Take one off this.
Yeah.
So the motion would, if somebody wants to make a motion, would be to recommend this to Finance and Governance Committee. That's the next step in all of this.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Okay.
Lost our
You
audience.
can see what people care about now.
Not this.
It's not.
That's why I said, besides me, probably no one will ever look at this.
Yeah.
All right, any other discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries 5-0. All right, so that takes us to the ordinance. What?
Takes us to number 16.
Yeah, number 16, ordinance review, chapter 15 to 16.
I didn't get to it
Okay,
in between meetings. We had so much stuff.
yeah, so we'll just table.
So we'll table that.
Yeah, table that to the next meeting.
I did have visions.
Yeah, I know I gave you some, and I know Mike had my copy and was marking it up, but it sounds like he hasn't given that to you yet, so I. Okay. Again, good bedtime reading, so you really can't get to sleep at all some nights, so. All right, if you'd have told me at 7:05, we'd be at the Communications and Miscellaneous Business, I mean,
That's crazy.
called you a liar, so.
That's because Zervis isn't here running the meeting, Gary.
Oh, ouch.
Shots fired. Nope. So,
This is recorded, right?
yes. All right, any committee members have anything they want to mention or talk about?
Oh, I think the next few meetings will be interesting.
Yes, it should be. So future agenda items, you guys, we don't need any more items on the agenda than we've had last couple.
We do have 22,000 square foot extension at Tico in the industrial park. We have the final plat for West Village HOA coming back, and there might be other stuff depending on.
I don't have anything else in December at that moment besides the ordinance review. In January, you guys asked to bring back that 11 Cardinal.
Only if the ordinances are, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have any new ordinances at that point.
Okay.
The Seco expansion.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to get into it yet. I know we received.
I've looked at it from fire departments and
Okay.
All right, then that means our next meeting date will be December 9th.
I don't, it's the 10th.
December.
Oh, 10th, yeah, I'm thinking Tuesday. Yeah. December
15th at night.
December,
I have just noticed everything is the 10th. Keep talking.
December 10th, sorry about that. So if nobody has anything else, there's one more motion to be made.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, Debbie, and I give it to Larry. All in favor? Opposed, motion carries. We're adjourned at 7:06.